You go after the injured little cheetah, not the one that'll make it difficult for you.
Started running a job in the fucking prison.
Yeah, it's like if you take my ass, it's gonna be hard work. You won't even enjoy it by the end.
Yeah.
Or maybe you'll enjoy it a lot.
If it's hard work, then they enjoy it. They're like, I earned this shit.
I have one of the biggest true crime podcasts on the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I like how you went straight to the drug dealer for her.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's my dad.
Really?
Yeah, my dad went to prison for selling prescription drugs. Well,
That's such a Florida thing.
I'm actually from Boston, so he was like a rich Jewish dude. We'll get into it. He hurt his back on a job, like fell off scaffolding, got back surgery, got addicted to his perks. Perks turned to oxys. Oxys turned to heroin. While him and his wife were on heroin, they stole a prescription pad from a hospital.
Yeah.
Ended up writing fake scripts for perks and oxys. And then one day, like 63 people got swatted. And everyone was like, it's Eric Simmons. He's the ringleader. But there was no proof of him doing it. And then my dad, we've been in like the papers my whole like high school and after.
Well, I got to say, the roofing, very Boston.
Construction, very Boston.
They're the
roofing.
last whites that do roofing.
Shout out Blueprint Roofing.
Follow the blueprint all the way to Boston.
It's my friend's company.
Nice, dude. That's hilarious. That's the sponsor of your podcast?
No,
Is this the sponsor of your podcast?
Yes, yeah. Don't I look so like I'm trying to fit into Austin with this dumb hat? But I actually like it. It's a good fit, and I like it. So you can trash it all you want.
Are you nervous?
I know it stinks. What?
Are you nervous?
No.
You're just moving?
I do that. Like I don't know. I drink a lot of caffeine, and I
know I need some caffeine.
I was gonna ask
Red Bull
if that was like a habit left over from like prison days. Do you have any habits that translated to civilian life?
I would never go like this in prison, because this is peacocking.
Hey,
you know, I'm trying to turn Jaime on, not some big fucking lifer. Well, that's very cool that your dad went to prison. So did he go to federal prison?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I don't know the details. I cut him off when I was younger. So when this was all going down, I was just like, I don't want to talk to you, and did everything on my own.
So you didn't even have a relationship with him?
No relationship while this was happening. Well, so like, I guess in the beginning, like while shit was going down, like I was telling him earlier, my dad blew up his truck for insurance fraud to pay off like drug dealers. And
that's a roofer right there.
He got like 30 grand for his truck, and then he bought me my first car, but like kept it in his name. And then when he went on the run, like we didn't know where he was, like a missing person for a couple of years. He stole my car. There'd be guys outside my house with bats and shit, like following me and my brother and sister. We're kids. We're like, my brother was like 8, getting followed with bats to the park and shit.
So your dad really loved you. I mean, he committed insurance fraud just to buy his baby girl her first car.
You know,
that was
a healing statement.
That's true. He stole it, but it's kind of like when your parents buy something for you when you're a kid, you know, whatever that is. Like, hey, babe, I got to steal this from you really quick. You know what I mean?
My mom wouldn't let me, because you know, like for the first week you can drive it without getting it registered. She wouldn't let me get it registered, and then she didn't want the car parked out of the house. She's like, that's a fucking drug money car. Like, they're going to come and get you. And I was like, you won't let me drive, so this is all I have. So I was pumped that my dad did that. I was like, he's a badass.
Are you from Dorchester or something?
No, I'm from Hull, Mass.
I don't know what that is.
Which is like a small little beach town, like some rich people, some trash people. My family was like, made good money. My dad owned like a very successful company. But, you know,
it doesn't make you not trash, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely still trash.
And I hate to say that, you know,
I came from the
lovingly
trash beach.
I talk to a lot of these people on the podcast, and I'm like, how did this all fall apart? You know, how did you get 3 strikes and are doing life? You know what I mean? Just insane stories. And they're like, well, I had everything growing up. Big screen TVs. My dad got us, Sea-Doos. I'm like, did you have everything? How about books, dumbass? How about a fucking kiss? You know, good night. Like, it's very, that, I don't know why I went into that, but you're a bag of trash.
What did you not have growing up?
I had literally, I had value. I mean, we had good values growing up. So I have even less of an excuse, I guess, to go down the path that I went.
I feel like that's usually who does go down the path, though. If you like grew up too well, you're like, I need some excitement in my life. I need to be a bad boy.
Yeah.
Couldn't you have just done like coke or something?
No, that was I grew up in the era where you didn't do drugs, you sold them. Like it was very taboo still in the early 2000s to do hard drugs. That shit was strictly for resale.
Bad people, yeah.
Not bad people, just that was for junkies. It was for
comedians.
It was for dope fiends, like crack or coke or anything like that. It didn't start becoming acceptable again for middle class people, normal people to use it, black people to use it. I never in my life thought I would see a new generation of black guys like doing cocaine. That didn't become really a thing till like the 2010s again. It was still like
my ex said his dad would fucking kill him. My ex is black. He was like, if I ever did any drugs, I knew that I even smoked weed because it was so looked down upon in the black community.
Yeah, because it ravaged them. It tore them apart in the 70s and the 80s. You know.
And now there's a comeback for
my mom would
for
beat me
hard
if I ever did
drugs.
that. Oh, my mom would be at the door waiting every time I came home, just asking to smell my breath, smell my fingers.
Let me see your eyes.
Yeah, looking like, and then she'd be like this, and then I remember one time I came home and I was just a weird kid and I had a lot of energy, and my dad was convinced I was doing drugs, so my mom lined me and all my friends up and made us do drug tests when we were like 13. And I was like, I was straight edge. I never touched anything until college.
That's how you found out you were pregnant?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I've never had a pregnancy scare.
That is shocking.
Yeah, never.
I
just think my womb, like all the trauma, my body was like, this isn't conducive to having a baby.
It wasn't a scare. You weren't scared. You just went and got it aborted.
I wish. No. That would be what I would do.
That's
if I got pregnant when I was younger.
You?
What
Scares?
about you? Pregnancy?
Yeah.
No, of course not. I'm a good girl.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I've had scares.
Okay, come on.
Yeah.
1 out of 2.
Let's be real. But I have never been pregnant. I just thought I was.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a hypochondriac. Every month I'm like, am I pregnant? It's like, you haven't gotten laid in 6 months. Of course you're not pregnant.
Dude, I love blasting in chicks. I hate to be romantic so early, but it's my age as I become an older man.
You have to get every last ounce out. You're like, this might be the last time before it turns powder. And I start selling it.
I'm becoming affluent. I'm getting money. And so now we're not quite to this point where I'm being reckless with the jizz, but almost. You know what I mean?
So you fuck raw a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, almost exclusively.
Me too.
Welcome to Two Girls, One Blunt.
Guys, there we go. Let's say a little prayer.
All right.
Let's pray we don't
please
get
take
pregnant.
away this baby from me.
Lord, pray that it be a masculine child. I'm like that guy from The Godfather. Don Corleone.
No masculine children in this generation. The average dick size is going down in America,
it
which is
terrifies
crazy.
me.
So
It's
men
the
are
water.
turning
They're
into
turning-
women.
It's turning everyone
Dude,
gay.
it's the bottles.
It's the LGBTQs.
It's the fucking, every time you drink these microplastics, I'm like, I hope I have a daughter so I don't have a little dicked fucking son, dude. Because I've been drinking plastic, we all have, for fucking a generation now.
I just saw something and they were talking about, they were like cutting up cadavers and going into people's brains. And from 10 years ago versus today, the level of microplastics in people's brains is insane. Like they're full.
Wow.
And think about how many people don't detox, they don't do like parasite cleanses, all that shit, heavy metals, like everything's just stuck in your body.
It's in your testicles too. They've done studies of dudes' testicles, and there's microplastic in the balls, which is insane.
That is fucking terrifying. What do you do about that? Like, can you cleanse that?
Yeah, so there's zeolites. There's getting some sort of binder, like activated charcoal or something. I'm currently like trying to cleanse and everything because I feel like I've had a lot of inflammation in my body. I got exposed to black mold in our new apartment.
Jesus.
I was drinking black mold for a week. So I've been trying to do all of that stuff.
Nothing that a girl from Southie can't handle.
Yeah.
A little fucking black mold.
Yeah. That's a Tuesday.
You know what else gets it out of your balls? Microplastics? Just busting a
fucking load
nut.
in a girl. So are you a whore?
Not anymore, no. No, I'm a recovering whore.
What ended it for you?
This tragic breakup I had.
How long were you guys together?
A year.
A year?
Yeah.
And it broke your heart? You never
Yeah, I mean, I ended it, but I didn't do my best in the relationship, so I really felt, I'm still kind of reeling with guilt. So I'm kind of having a midlife crisis.
What did you not do right in it?
I was really stressed out because this podcast had just started blowing up, and so I wasn't as romantic as I could have been. didn't write her love letters. I didn't. I yelled. I found out I'm a yeller.
Oh.
I'm because my father was a big yeller.
My mom too.
And sometimes after I would just snap at this person that I loved, this like creature that I was she was just so precious to me, I would be like, wow, you really become what you hate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
So,
need
yeah.
to have that moment though.
Yeah.
Like I have a guy friend who's going through that, and he just broke up with his girl because he yelled and everything, and now he's like, I'm getting sober, I'm doing all this,
Yep.
and I'm like, hey, you needed to do all those things before you fell in love, and now's the time. You can either repeat the cycle and continue to do that shit, and you'll never find it, or work on yourself.
And you just hope that person one day understands that and finds, because that doesn't make them feel any better. You're like,
No.
hey, I learned so much by treating you like shit.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. But
Did you give her any closure? And you were like, hey, I was in the wrong here?
Yeah. I sent her like just
He's like, I texted her just now.
a
5 minutes ago.
deeply.
Babe, I love you. Please take
I
me
sent her
back.
a snap. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Podcast.
Should we call her right now?
No. I just commented on one of her Instagram posts.
Miss you.
No, I went through I think I'm blocked. I am blocked. I am blocked for sure, but I think that's healthy. It's not good. I've been in breakups where you're going back and forth. I didn't want that to happen.
I'm a no contact kind of bitch. You'll never talk to me again.
I did email though. I emailed her an incredibly heartfelt, sincere, just like making amends. And then I'm gonna send one more. I thought about this the other day. At the year breakup mark, I'm gonna send one more that's not so serious. I'm like, hey, I want you to understand. Like, I apologize.
Here's what I've learned and how I've processed kind of what happened.
Did you send it to
Exactly.
her work or personal?
Both. I had to make sure she got.
You had to
I need a
CC
man
her
like
on
that.
Yes.
You need
I
to be emailing
CC,
my
dude.
work email.
ICC, dude. Yeah, because I know you can block people on Gmail now, so I wanted to make
Wait,
sure it
really?
went through. I believe so.
You can block like addresses from sending it, or it automatically goes to junk, like a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I like that on Instagram now. Once you block somebody, it gives you an option to block any and all account they ever make for the rest of their.
I hate that.
I love that.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
like
like, I
that.
need to.
Let me
I made
stalk,
16
dude.
accounts to
That's
talk to her.
right.
I don't think I've ever had a guy be crazy like that.
No.
They just go through my phone and stuff, but there's nothing to find.
It's a different type of crazy.
Who hits on you with red hair and big
Dude,
tits
the weirdest
and tattoos?
guys. Yeah, I'm just like, no, I'm not a project for you. I've worked on myself. I might have red hair, but it's like a character, and it's marketing.
Yeah.
You might not remember
Yep.
us, but you're gonna be like those two redhead bitches from Boston.
Right. That's true. This
You know what
is
I'm
like
saying? We walk down the street. It's so easy for it to be like, that's them, instead of like when I have brown hair, which is how I normally am. Like, I blend in.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to blend in.
Nobody looks twice at you. You
Yeah,
boring bitch.
I'm
But
trying
now
to
you
be
got
like,
red
look
hair.
at me. I'm your childhood fantasy. But
Yeah. What about you? Black guys?
yep.
That's
How'd
a
you
fact.
know?
Yeah, old black guys.
Well, you
too.
told me that you used to, take
Oh, yeah. It's
old black guys.
old black
Guys
guys are
that-
like short and stocky black dudes.
Guys named like Leroy.
It's like Elrod. I'm like, what's going on,
Mom and Dad. This is Earl.
dude? Stop. That's my ex's dad's name. Oh my god.
This is
got it.
This is Cleophas from Lafayette, Louisiana.
I always knew I would end up with a man from
No,
Louisiana.
every time we've gone out on 6th Street, just like in between comedy, because we've getting pulled aside by these promoters being like, free drinks, and I'm like, oh, I don't have to drink and do comedy. I don't have to pay for drinks and do comedy. I can just walk
So
in, get a
nice.
free drink, and leave. Every single time we go in a new bar, it's a new black dude. I'm going up to Emily being like, what's your number?
Who hits on
Get in
you?
line,
Yeah,
dude.
who hits on you?
Nobody. After they see the act on stage, they're like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
like,
the
he's
I've
funny,
gotten
but
ghosted.
holy shit!"
That definitely turns some girls on.
'Cause you're an
that you're an
asshole on stage,
asshole
right?
stage.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm in myself, which I think is.
So you're an
I'm
asshole.
kind of a dick, yeah. But I'm a really nice guy. But I'm I am an asshole, and I got all these character flaws. But so that scares them off pretty good. But on the road, you meet a lot of disturbed. Some of these fucking women are just out of their minds. A lot of Latinas that have their fathers
Oh, I
weren't
can see
around.
them loving you.
Big time. Like I attract, dude. I was dating this chick from this Colombian
You
girl.
attract girls and no dads.
Facts, and I don't want it, dude. I'm like, I got a guy. My dad. I talk to my dad every day. What's going on?
They just need a father.
I know, and I fucking love being daddy. I love being daddy. God
Really?
damn it.
You're
Oh
a big
yeah.
daddy person?
Fuck yeah,
My ex
dude.
used to make me call him Captain because he
No.
drove boats. He'd be like, "Call me El Capitan."
No.
He was white, but
That's
yeah,
hot,
the one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
El Capitan.
I would always be like,
and you did
what's
it?
the captain want today? And he would love it.
Damn, that's
And then he'd
fucking...
cook me dinner.
Wow.
Okay.
I would
Eat my pussy. Great.
I'd
Great
call him
for
captain,
me.
yeah.
I'll call you captain all day.
Yeah, no, I like the captain, skipper. Call me skipper.
Foreman, you know?
Yeah, foreman.
I could
Doctor.
go for that.
What would someone call
Call me Daddy MD.
I don't like mommy though. I have so many guys who think I'm very dominant in bed, and I'm not. I'm like a
don't be
sub,
mommy.
and so they come to me with all like their sub. Mommy, will you do? And I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
You got to be Latina. You got to be Cuban, and it's mommy. What's up, mommy?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Mommy.
Mommy's cute.
It's not mommy.
It's still
That
mommy.
just like
it's
brought
too
something back.
mommy
I
for
realized
me.
one of my exes used to call me that all the time. He'd call me mommy, but like not mommy.
Ugh.
Yeah, it still freaks me out.
I don't want to be anybody's fucking mommy unless you came out of my vagina and not come in me. Like that's
One goes in, one comes out.
either way,
Fascinating.
I'm mommy.
It's fascinating being a woman.
Mommy. I don't know.
Jizz inside of you.
That's why I got this.
Nice.
ready.
Yeah, that's what all the whores in South America have.
I'm trying to get my
No,
IUD
literally.
That's me.
Literally prostitutes.
Oh, really? That's not me.
So have you
Just
fucked a
kidding.
prostitute?
Yeah, back in the day, a couple of years ago. But
A couple of years
I
ago?
feel like every guy I
back in
know
the day, a year and a half ago.
last week.
No, I probably like no more than like 15 though. Like some girl made me
I've
confess
fucked more
that.
prostitutes than I've fucked human beings.
Yeah, and these are not human beings. Trust me. They're
Oh my god. I feel like all of our guy friends, they're all like hookers in other
They
countries,
love hookers.
and they're like, "Let's get a hooker. I'm gonna go to like a Chinese massage."
never been to
parlor."
one, but I hear they're excellent.
I heard they were excellent too.
Yes.
I can give you a couple in Florida.
Yeah.
I've
I
never
imagine.
been, but
Yeah, no, I mean, I like to think I'm a little. I've kind of been there, done that. I was pretty early to the going to South America trend. We didn't go there to fuck prostitutes. That was just a byproduct of being
Yeah.
there. But I like to think I got in early on that trend and got out before the game got really sketchy, like it is now.
why is it sketchy?
In South America, dude, because Colombians, there's so many. This is just one example. There's so many tourists, sex tourists, going to Colombia. It's like Thailand now. It's gross. Medellin used to be this fucking cool, amazing, beautiful city, and now you can't even go to certain areas because it's just disgusting. Europeans, Australians that go there, American black dudes because they love a fat ass. They go there just to fuck women, and so now these bands of women from the barrios, these poor women that are just hot as fuck, will meet up with you on Tinder, take you back, get you drunk, take you back to the crib, drug you, and take all your shit.
So how did you find hookers before
And good
Tinder?
for them, quite
What
frankly.
about STDs? I'd be less scared about getting robbed. Like rob me, I don't care about material shit, but like an STD from a hooker.
What
would freak me
STD?
out.
All of them.
All of them.
No, there's two of them you got to worry about, and one isn't even a big deal anymore.
Which
But,
one? HPV?
The big one,
Herpes?
Replace the middle letter, HIV. No, of course I don't want HIV, but like, yeah, I don't want to get my new fucking laptop stolen.
So you'd rather get HIV.
I just
You
got
have too many videos of me fucking hookers on there.
Exactly. I haven't backed up all this content on there, dude.
Dude.
Dude, my phone just died and I have nothing backed up, which is so sad. All my photos, everything.
How
How do
old
you-
are you?
How old do you think I am?
I don't know. 23. Just kidding.
Really?
You know.
I'm 30.
Nice. What about you?
Old enough.
Old enough to
For
what?
fuck a
I'm
guy
no
named
longer
Leroy.
jailbait. I just
You
look like
jailbait, though.
Yeah.
You look like a minor. You're like a pedophile's wet dream.
That makes
She's
me
the
deeply
bait.
uncomfortable.
You send her in there.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I like wonder,
Pedophiles, wet
are the
dream,
guys who
Hitler's
are
wet dream,
attracted to me
whatever.
actually pedophiles? Because I do look kind of.
There's non-practicing pedophiles, though.
You do have a kind of a doll's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said I look like those creepy dolls that like blink one eye at a time.
Yeah.
Just like stare
Can
out
you do
at
that
you.
for me?
You kind of look like the young version of the mother in Requiem for a Dream.
I've never
Anybody?
seen that.
No.
Wait, can
My
we pull
man
it
gets
up?
it behind the camera.
Will you pull it up?
Isn't that Demi Moore?
No.
Demi Moore's a
mother?
pedophile.
Demi Moore is a
She
fine
made
as
out with
fuck.
like a child on camera.
Well, she was a child. Talking about deep.
I look
movie-
like this. I will literally shoot your house up.
It's okay. Yes, she looks like that. Yes, you look like that. Show the camera. Producer, pull that up.
I'll put it up on the screen. That's so funny.
I like it chunky. A real motherfucker likes some cushion. You know,
Yeah.
I dated a girl, like a skinny girl one time, and there was no sexual chemistry whatsoever. Like two skinny people can't.
I'm not attracted to skinny girls. 'Cause I like girls too. So I'd like a thicker girl in general. Because I'm like,
I like
just
it
seeing
all.
their thighs move like this.
Ooh,
You
I
grab
love
their
that
butt. That's
What are you trying to
great.
make me relapse? This is a Christian podcast. Go. Start the show.
This is a Christian podcast?
Yes.
We were just talking about hookers.
I walk
Yeah.
into a church and I burn. It burns. Everything starts burning.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot, you know.
Besides your penis after you have sex with me. All right.
Because we
Nice.
get STD tested, unlike the hookers in Colombia.
I think they do. I was in at least in Mexico, I was in and I'm going to, I shout this out every podcast. If you're in Ensenada, go to Club Paris. Fantastic whorehouse. I was there a couple years ago. This was actually my last time banging a hooker. Went there with a buddy. We were just down there. We make a yearly pilgrimage to Mexico to re-up on dick pills, right? So we were down there. We went to this Club Paris, and we were at the bar drinking, and I was telling all these hookers to scram, and a bunch of military people walked in, and I was like, oh, they're here to they must be getting bribes paid or whatever. And all these bitches start flocking to the back where they're at. And I asked them when they came back, I'm like, what were they doing? What were these army guys doing here? And they were like, oh, they were checking our health cards to see if they had STDs. So I'm like,
oh shit.
that's the way America should do it. Like,
We should
why
legalize
are
it.
should
we
be with
behind?
dating. I don't want to fuck you unless you show me your papers.
That's well, that's true too. But it's like, why are we behind Mexico when it comes to sex work? You know what I mean?
That's really sad.
Yeah.
Well, it's because prostitution's not legal. So when things aren't legal, sometimes I feel like.
So of course that's obviously the reason. The question I'm beckoning: why isn't it legal?
It should be legal.
Of course.
I think they should just legalize everything across the board.
Yep. Amen,
I also
sister.
think too, think of how much blackmail high up people can get on people.
I thought you
for
said
doing-
blackmail, and I'm like, okay.
How
I'm
much
not sure what
blackmail
this-
is Emily's
Yeah,
at?
I'm not sure about what this has to do
But
with
how much
it. Yeah.
blackmail on people, if it's
Yeah.
illegal, and then
Right.
they lead you into this, whether
Right.
it's getting you fucked up and whatever. Oh, there's a hooker, you're on camera.
Right.
Boom, you can use that against. But if everything's becoming legal that they could use against
Right.
people, and so you need to have some power in some way.
It's kind of the Diddy shit, man. He did beat up a bitch and probably force rape Cassie, which he should be in prison for that. But all this flying hookers in, paying them a more than fair wage
That's
to
just
fuck
him.
a bunch of people.
He's stimulating
that's-
the economy.
Literally, that. I don't see the problem with a lot of this shit that they're putting a big Fed case on them for.
Well, all I care about is if people are being abused. I don't give a shit if he flies hookers in or fucks prostitutes.
Yeah, he beat the shit out
Nothing
of his
underage,
girlfriend.
nobody getting hurt, all consensual.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of it is
Exactly.
the way that we think about sex trafficking is a dude puts you in a van and then you're drugged up and then you're just put as a whore in a room. But a lot of sex trafficking is not being able to leave and people using their power over you and putting you in these uncomfortable situations. I just watched Blink twice, and one of the things is you don't have to do anything you don't want to do as they take away their phone, not realizing what they're about to get into. And so when you fly out to go fuck millionaires, you're going to Dubai and you're going on these boats and you're stuck in this situation, that's essentially sex trafficking.
Sure.
So
Sure.
that stuff, putting women in uncomfortable positions, I've seen 4 TikToks already of girls being I was gang raped at Diddy's party, and they fed me drugs, and then it was this
Yep.
whole thing.
Yep.
A lot of people are coming out where they were if you're a model and you're flown out and you're going to his Hamptons house and you're in different things, and then everyone's fucked up and they say you can leave, but they don't really let you leave.
Sure.
And there's a lot of stuff like that.
That makes sense. But on the surface, on paper, that seems like a hooker's wet dream is to get flown out to the Hamptons.
And we have friends who
I'd
are
do that.
escorts and shit. We know people who are in the business of getting flown out and fucking, and sometimes they like it and they want that and the money's good and they like that lifestyle. But there's a lot of people who don't realize what the implications are of
Sure.
them getting into it, and they're
A lot
That
of people
makes
don't know
sense.
how to say no. I feel also adds to it.
Sure.
Women don't, even me, myself, this happened 2 days ago where I felt I couldn't say no and speak up in the moment, and you get scared and you do things you wouldn't normally
I think
do.
we figured it out because if it's a bunch of like doctors just cheating on their wives, a bunch of like nerdy dudes, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
those are like, I feel like the Dahmers and shit, and like the weird, they're gonna cut you up or make you shit on them. Weird shit.
White dudes would like force you to rape yourself, then like
This is
fuck your head stump or something
yeah,
like that.
Like
They would do
fucked
fuck
up
shit.
psychological shit.
this is a good segue. This is what I
Into
came on the
what?
podcast to talk about. Fucking your own stump. Oh, like when your head gets cut off.
No, like what if they chop my leg off and then they make me like finger my own leg? Like I don't know what these weird white
You're
dudes
just so
do.
terrified of being a nugget.
Yeah, I get
Dude,
the
I don't want to
fucking-
be a nugget.
I get the fucking tendon right there, Daddy.
You itch your legs like a dog.
I was banging my nub, dude.
All right, so segue into the convo. You wanted to stump fucking.
No, like let's talk about how I finger chicks. There we go. Ready?
Were you so excited to talk about sex on this
I'm
podcast? I was excited to talk to you about drugs.
I'm a segment producer, guys. This is the new segment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Take it away.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
like a
We
man
could-
that leads.
Yeah, go for it.
so like, dude,
So I was finger blasting this chick.
I still at almost 40 years old love finger blasting. I
Thank
just
you.
love driving a woman crazy.
Thank
Because
you.
then I don't have to exert the effort of actually getting down there and doing tongue work. I just
You're
get
not a
to.
tongue person?
No, you have to add
No,
both.
I like eating pussy, but it's a lot. It's just energy.
hard.
It's just effort. You know what I mean? That's a real effort I gotta make.
That's true. I'll give a hand job all day, and then you ask me to blow you, and I'm like, oh shit, all right. And it's like a process.
Right.
I feel like I'd rather blow because then it gets it over with instead of like fucking. That's so
If you're-
I
much.
if
like to
good
take
at
my
it.
time.
Yeah, I
all
like
right?
to torture. I like to
Yeah.
slow torture
Yeah,
my
you
victim.
do the build-up.
Why are you
Men
acting
need
like
that
I don't know
too.
what edging is? I coined the phrase edging, bro.
And she's like, I edge myself every day.
Now, are you guys? I've heard women say now the big thing is allowing a skull fuck in lieu of actually having to
saw
put in
that.
the bobbing.
Wait, what?
I'll get skull fucked all day.
See, I'm not falling for that anymore. Because I
consensually.
smelled this coming years ago. Like, no. You're not just gonna lay back and let me fuck your dead skull, your dead head. No. You're gonna get in there and get some exercise.
What if it's what
yeah,
if it's a
I'm-
mix of both? It's like I got my exercise. All right, now I need a 30-second break.
I do love
Sometimes getting skull fucked though, the gag reflex. If they hit the wrong spot, you're like, whoa.
I love the mounting over the body, like actually, like it's so. I'm never doing this again, by the way. I'm only making love from now on. But I do love
Wait, can
making
you
love
paint-
to a mouth.
Can you paint me a picture?
Yeah, he's about
okay.
to get up and-
So Jamie's
He's like, Jamie, get on your knees.
yeah.
Actually.
So Jamie's just sitting on the floor with her head back, and I love, and hopefully sometimes it's more degrading than that. But then I simply mount and am smashing the mouth from the front.
Yeah.
To me, that's kind of hot.
It
Did
is
we
funny
get
when
that?
when men squat and mount, like their feet are on the bed.
Oh,
I'm
and they're like this?
Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck are you doing that? I can't
Squat
even
and
be.
mount, dude.
Yeah.
More men have Megan knees than we realize.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't have Megan knees. I got torn ACL or LCL. I'm like, you got 20 seconds.
Of riding, yeah.
Yeah.
Max. And then I'm
Oh.
just sitting there and you're giving it to me.
Yeah. Don't
that
worry. The
sucks.
rest is still great. I have great reviews.
God, I hope.
I actually
You guys are
I did a survey and I sent it out to all the guys I fucked.
I'm long past my prime of being very good at sex, and I realize that, and it's. So yeah, I'm ready
That's
to
why
change.
you need to up on dick pills. Is your dick
But-
not working? How's that been for you?
No, I mean I actually haven't jerked it for a couple of days, and I'm waking up rock hard. So I think that's just the issue, is because I work out really hard and I have these calloused hands, and so
yeah?
I
Wow.
scrape my penis when I pleasure myself.
You
when
don't use
I call it
lotion?
sinning. No, I don't use lotion.
You go
lotion?
dry?
You raw dog jerking off?
Yeah, dude. I fucking.
You're a sick man.
I dry hand it. No.
Oh.
This is a polarizing issue. I realize that. And there's one segment of men that swear by lube and all that fancy shit. And then there's fucking men. There's men
You're a man?
who take to their cock like a gorilla in a zoo. You know, like that's just what the fuck I do. But it's unsustainable, obviously, because like my penis hurts right now. And I haven't masturbated in 3 days, but it's. So
The
I gotta
first
let
time
it
I
heal.
gave a hand job, that happened I gave him a sunburn. I rug burned his dick, and then he just took it. And then I was like, let me touch your dick again. He's like, I need a week. And I was like, why? And then he told me. And then I was like, it's my job to learn how to jerk a dick off properly, because I will never be like, thank God it was my first boyfriend.
Yeah, no.
Can I say this?
No.
I don't want, if my child's gay, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. Like, if it's a boy, I'm probably going to, like, beat the shit out of him. I really feel that way.
But why?
Clip that.
Because I'm so tired. If he's actually gay, I'm going to be like, yo, you got to prove it. Prove that shit.
Suck my dick right now.
No, I knew you were going to go there with it. That would be bad parenting. I think that would be spoiling him, you know? But no, that's gross. I'm like, you better bring home a fucking boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see you bi-coastal, bi-curious. You know, we're old school gay in this house. If you're really gay, you go have gay sex and see how easy that shit is. I'm so fucking tired of this brainwashing. It's gotta be. Do you guys like anal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm asking.
I don't.
Jeez, forgot who I'm asking here.
I don't. Stay away from the butthole, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll eat yours, but not.
No. So imagine that fucking, you gotta not eat for 2 days. If it's anal night, you're like, oh boy. That's what gay sex is on a daily.
Is that why they're all so fit? No one's eating?
Of course, it's
Yeah.
man's work.
Yeah.
That's why they look amazing.
all the
Man's
enemas.
work.
So it's like,
It is work.
I was just talking to my friend today. He's got kids in school, and I'm like, are they getting brainwashed? He lives in LA. You know, do they learn about all this trans shit? He goes, yeah, a little bit, but like he said, like 40% of like young people now identify as something other
Yeah.
than just straight. 40?
That's crazy.
It's statistically impossible. But
Unless
so
they're drugging us and our food in the microplastic.
Damn, why
And-
can't I just like everyone?
and all the brainwashing, and you know what I mean? So it's like, if my kid is gay, you know, it's like, yeah, no, step up, show me something.
Yeah, I remember my mom and my sister got in a fight, and my mom, it was on Church Street in Burlington, Vermont, which is super progressive and gay. And she was like, you're not fucking gay. And my sister's screaming at her like, I eat pussy all the time. Like, I have a girlfriend. And my mom's like, it's a phase. And she's like, I love pussy. And it's like in public. And my mom's like, you're not gay. Like, and starts saying the F word and shit.
My
And
dad said the same thing to me. He was like, it's just a phase. Like, you'll grow out of it. You'll find a nice man.
no one said that about me when I had a bowl cut and played baseball, though. They were like, that kid.
Well, yeah, that's
And you're
just
playing
true.
baseball. She's a catcher. She's
Yeah.
catching.
Yep, I got teased a lot. I thank God, though. I think if I grew up in this time, like, I would have been the poster child for a kid to get surgery because I played World of Warcraft and video games, and I want to play sports, and I hung out with dudes, and I dressed like a dude. And I think I really just missed my father, you know? I think I just liked male energy, and, like,
Yeah,
I
dudes
don't, you
rule.
know? Yeah, dudes rule.
Why can't we just like shit?
But I would have been trans, and then now, like, look at me now. Imagine if I had turned into a boy.
You could be hot, maybe.
I think I would.
I don't know.
I could see you being a boy. You not so much.
I don't think.
No, yeah.
I don't
If
think.
I
I'm
had
not
my
calling you
other
not
phone, I
hot,
would
but I'm just
show
saying,
you.
I'm not calling you not hot. I'm just saying you could be
I have manly traits,
Yep.
and manly energy.
absolutely.
I think I've always been like that.
I'm
So I
just a
find
girl.
it interesting that if I had grown up in a different time, like where my mindset would be at. And I was just a tomboy, and I did grow out of it. It took me a while, but my need for approval, I think, made me be like, you should start being a girl, and dressing up. It's like a total 180.
Yeah.
So dating's hard for you, really?
Yeah. It is. I just been on I don't know, maybe it's the breakup, but it's just not been going well, so I'm kind of just not doing it right
What's
now.
your type?
You know, Hispanic women. It depends though. I like a smart girl. I'm fucked because I love the personality of a smart woman, but I love a
Tapped.
I love a Latin whore. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do I meld the two? How can I have a marriage of these two
I feel
qualities?
like that's pretty easy to find.
No.
I don't know,
No?
dude. My dad's been looking for the past 66 years and he still hasn't found one. So
Yeah. I'm like, I do appreciate a half dumb woman. I do. A half dumb
I wish I
woman.
could be dumb.
No, I want like a dummy, like doesn't, I don't expect you to like know what I'm talking about when I bring up Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I expect you to learn a little bit about it, but I'm just going to be the smart one
You
in the
wanna be the
relationship.
smart one.
I don't want to be. I want to have, I want to fuck a journalist from DC. Like I want to marry like a fucking DC journalist, but it's not, she's not fucking with me. It's just not going to happen.
With
So-
comedy and what you've done and stuff.
Yeah. And it's
Do you
like the
find-
whole
it could
brand
happen.
now
Do you
is.
find your past and going to prison and shit, like, do girls flock towards that? Do they like that because they're like bad boy, or are they like, oh no?
Most people run away from it. as
Really?
which I think is sensible on the surface. I mean, I think get to know me is probably a better idea, but yeah, most people like, because it's in the profile, you know, it's in the Instagram profile. It's the whole
same thing
brand.
with us talking about sex and shit. It's like, that's
Yeah.
not all of us. You got to get to know us. And
Exactly.
yeah, this is online, and we're taking a part of our lives and just kind of blowing it up on a
That's
mass
what it
scale.
is. Yeah.
And people are too dumb to differentiate, like,
Yeah.
that people can have multiple sides of their personality.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
stuff.
People, I guess we're weeding people out, but most people are just kind of binary retards.
Yeah, I just want, like,
Especially in this city.
It does
They're
weed a
dumb
lot
as
of people
fuck
out,
in
but
this
then
city.
dating's hard.
Yeah.
Like, don't go on dates.
No.
I don't get laid.
Oh.
I'm miserable inside.
Yeah. Do you ever consider fucking a fan? Like a whale? Like somebody who just drops bags
Oh,
on
I have
you?
a guy who's like been trying to get me to fly out to. He's like, I'll pay you $10K, fly out to Chicago and fuck me. And I was like, no.
Dude, put a pocket pussy on my asshole, and I'll jet out there.
Yeah, I did just like lose a bunch of money in our move, and we kind of lost everything we own. And I looked at Emily and I was like, Chicago sounded kind of nice.
Dude, weren't you drinking black mold, you poor bitch?
Yeah.
Hop on a
I know.
spirit flight.
I can't get myself to do that. I can't fuck you unless I have like an emotional. There needs to be chemistry in other ways, and like if I'm just talking to you online, like that's not enough. I'd be like, hey, if I like you, I'll fuck you, and then you give me 10 grand for just because you love me. You know,
Just for the
like
hang.
you're not paying me to fuck you. I'm fucking you because I want to.
Oh, so you're
And you
not
just-
a real whore.
No, I'm not at all. In here, sick, but like her, good girl.
Aw. Yeah, damn. Yeah, no, that's a tough one.
Have you ever been a hooker? Like, has anyone ever paid you to have sex?
No, but I would, in my fantasy, my last fantasy would be to be a rich guy in LA, and I would pay two young, like a couple, like a beautiful young couple, starry-eyed, there to be actors. Like, you can live in my mansion. I just get to watch you guys fuck.
Like a
you
man and a
cuck
woman?
stuff.
Yeah, like a man and a woman. Like, yeah, just fuck. I'm gonna.
Oh, you're gonna watch a jerk off.
And I'm gonna have
Dry.
there's a big, exactly. There's gonna be a big. I
You're
imagine
the
a-
opposite of Diddy. You don't have bottles of lube. You have fucking baby powder.
Yeah, talcum powder.
Yeah. You're like, I'm using
like a gymnast.
sandpaper.
All right, let's get the show rolling, boys.
Yeah, so I figured it would be a big, like a big pool, right? And their room, the guest room, would be this big floor-to-ceiling window. And I wouldn't even have to be in the room. I would just probably I gotta
I'm
be in the
picturing
room.
like police glass.
I gotta
so you can
hear.
see
Police
and they
glass?
can't
Oh, that's a
see
good
you.
one.
You're like, I need
and
to be
you're
on
just
the other
jerking
side of
it.
the wall this time.
But I need to hear though. I need to hear the
Well,
whispers,
obviously
the
there'd
moaning.
be stereos inside. Like you would have an
Yeah.
intercom.
They're
You
mic'd
could
up.
talk to them.
You're right.
They're
right.
mic'd up.
Yeah, I like
They got a
that.
wire.
Yeah, so no, that's the closest that I've come
That's
to,
your
to being a
dream.
prostitute. Yeah, that's my dream.
So would you watch your girl get fucked by someone?
Depends how long we've been together.
10 years.
What is the?
10
he's like,
years.
He's like 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
But like 6 months, no.
You seem like you need a lot of dopamine in your life.
I
so-
do, but that's why I'm going on a dopamine dump. I'm figuring this all out. I got it all figured out, ladies. We're gonna, dude.
What do you mean a
Nobody's
dopamine dump?
nobody's fucking my wife in
Except
front of
for
me.
me.
You know, I'm not cheating. I don't know how we're gonna get there, but we're gonna figure that out.
Are you a cheater usually?
That's a big God,
Yeah, you
dude,
see- you
brutal.
seem that.
Yeah. Not that I've really. Yeah, no, I've. No, I've pretty much cheated in every relationship, so I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not condoning that. I haven't had many relationships, but yeah, it's.
What made you change and not want to do that anymore?
This last one, I just and also like seeing all these comedians getting older and going down. Like doesn't matter how successful they are, how rich they are, they're still chasing pussy at 55. Like that is a hell.
I see that,
looks
and I'm
miserable.
like on the road when you're first starting and you're like getting famous and shit. Like I
Yeah.
totally get that, like excitement, and girls
Yep.
want you and you haven't been wanted before, and maybe that.
Yeah.
But then it comes a time where I'm like, y'all are cheating on your wives, and there's somebody who loves you and has supported you when you were nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what
that's
I'm
right.
saying? And like
That's
to
right.
disrespect that, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, don't you get bored or lonely?
No,
'Cause
they
I know
do.
your connection at home is definitely not as good and strong.
But then they're
if that's
chasing,
happening.
so they're getting bored and lonely, so they chase pussy, and they're just like continuing the cycle over and over instead of like finding somebody who can.
Yeah, so
Love them.
I'm trying to find the somebody. I'd rather spend more time alone and really find that person where I know that there's no way I even feel the need to go fuck pussy on the road. Like, been there. So I have some things. I got a chance because I've had all the pussy. I've been through the trauma of the cheating and the heartbreak and the guilt. That's a hell in itself. It's probably worse actually than being the one getting cheated on. I think if you're a good person, like hurting the person you love, it's just a crushing. Sorry, we can talk about prison shanking after this because this is very gay, but it's a crushing guilt. It's like a oh my God, the pain is so bad. So
why do you keep doing it then?
Well, this is the first time it's blown up a relationship and I got caught. You know what I mean? And it's the first person that I really, really deeply cared about.
You've never been caught cheating before?
No.
Damn.
So
I was wondering that
these
too,
young
like,
girls, they can crack into anything. It's wild, like the fucking CIA. I'm like, you got into my Google number? How the fuck did you do that?
Oh my God, she found your Google Voice number? That's how she caught you?
I'm like, how the fuck?
Oh,
Yo,
no.
this is like, these young chicks can do things like a basic 22-year-old knows more than like
an FBI agent.
Yeah, than like a 45-year-old person who works in tech.
Dude, I would trust the
crazy.
detectives on TikTok more than I would trust any like seasoned professional police officer.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I remember I caught my ex cheating and I just was like, it made him
How'd you
look
catch
at
him?
the phone. It was like long distance and he was on the phone in his glasses. And I was like, this motherfucker. I just hung up, broke up with him, never really talked to him again. He called me and then I go on, keep your glasses up, log into your Snapchat. I was like, send me all the fucking data. And he was like, and I'm like, this is your last shot. He's like trying to delete it. I'm like, don't fucking move your eyes. Like, I will.
How about this one? Yeah, every guy has been there sitting like this. It's like you become like a little boy. Like when your girl's like, let's go through this together. Shall
That's
we?
exactly what happens.
And you're like, Yeah, and what about this one? That was Fort Lauderdale.
It's like when your mom
Yeah.
grades your math homework. And
No,
she's like, show me the answer.
It's the most emasculating, just for the anxiety alone. Like putting all the morality aside.
I feel like a lot of men aren't good under pressure.
We're terrible.
Terrible under pressure. I
'cause
love watching a man crumble when they fucked up. I'm like,
I didn't crumble with the DEA in my apartment threatening me with like a decade in prison. I crumbled when I got caught cheating. I was out with it, Yeah, no, it's
do you think that your personality and the behaviors that allowed you to sell drugs on such a massive scale have affected, like, that bleeds into how you act in a relationship?
Yes.
Like, you're good at manipulating, you're good at hiding shit, you're good at like all of those things, strategizing, seeing a bigger picture. That would be what would scare me.
Definitely.
To date someone like that.
Yep, because there was a fundamental dishonest. Like, I'm just not a very honest person, and maybe that's why I love stand-up and podcasting, because I'm so honest. Like when it comes to this shit.
Yeah,
but
what makes you not be an honest person? Like, what is that?
Yeah, well, I think it's like when I was a kid, my dad, like I said, was a big yeller, and so it started off with just not being like good at like math homework. Like white dads, dude, you guys don't even, well, maybe you remember. Well, not so much you, but white dads, like middle class dads in the 90s, were these like passive aggressive, just like they hated their jobs. They had midlife crises. They fucking drove Ford Tauruses. They just didn't like their lives. So they took it out on their kids.
Yep.
And so I would just start lying to him just to get out of him yelling at me. And that kind of became a self-perpetuating thing. And then I got a little older and I got in with like the cool kids. Like I finally broke the cool kids ring at school. So now I'm out like smoking and drinking and I'm lying about that. And, and then I fall into selling drugs. And it was just kind of a perfect storm of shit that created this habit that I didn't realize I had until I'm like a fucking grown-ass man and I'm in the habit of not telling the truth.
Do you ever catch yourself and you're like, I just said something and it was a complete lie?
I've started doing that. I've started backtracking. I'm like, hey, I just lied to you. I don't know why.
I
It's
had to do
embarrassing.
that too.
I started doing that too.
When it's like benign, I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't
you're
know
like-
why I told you I
I was like, I'm going to the corner store, but I was really going to 7-Eleven. Like, and
Yeah.
I'd have to be like, no, that was a lie. Why did I just say that? And backtrack and be like, I'm sorry. Here's the truth. It's
Like
that's
you would lie
tact.
when you were going to the corner store and you were fucking your ex.
No.
Oh shit.
I would just not answer your phone calls.
I know. I was like, she's hiding this from me.
Dude, who fucks better, you or you? I bet she fucks.
Why would you ask these questions?
I
We've
don't
never
know.
fucked. How would we know?
I've never seen you fuck either.
Yes,
I've just
you've heard
it.
me fuck, but
Oh.
I wasn't fucking. I was getting fucked that night,
Yeah,
dude.
you were
Oh,
just taking
jeez.
it.
Oh,
I
poor
was
I
like,
girl.
couldn't do anything but take it.
I hate when when I know I'm like I'm the one fucking you. Like I hate that feeling. I'm like you're just lying there.
No, he liked it. He was throwing me around, flipping me upside down. I was like, I have no choice but to go with what's going
Right.
on.
It's kind of like you tumbling through like down a water park slide,
Yeah.
and you're like I better just go.
no,
with
I think
it, you know?
I think if you
It
asked,
could be a big splash at the end.
like when I was in my early 20s, then I just like had so much to prove, and I wanted to be liked. So I
Yeah.
was like, if I'm really good at sex, then they'll never want me to leave, you know?
Right.
And I would do crazy shit, and like it was like a performance, but I never came. Like I was never coming, and I couldn't come until I was 21. So like, I think once I learned how to come and I learned what I like, now I'm like, no, this is how it's gonna go. Taking my vibrator out, we're gonna do this, this, and this. This is how I
fuck,
come. Like, or I'm like, if I'm trying to like do that, or like love, last person I fucked, we like making love, but it was so intense that we both came multiple times.
But you need to you got to really like the person though for that to work, right?
No, I've definitely fucked people that I have insane chemistry with, and it's like that, but there's no like.
Ah.
But I will start to like them.
Sure,
I can't
sure.
fuck you and not like you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. I'd rather be alone.
I think you should fly to Chicago. Get that 10 stacks, boo boo.
That's illegal.
Watch, I see you next week with like a fucking new car and shit. I'm like, I won't tell anyone, Jamie, but this will be between you and I, but I know.
And all of the viewers of this podcast.
Yeah.
Who's your demo? Who's your demo?
Everyone. It's kind of weird. Like 18 to 35 is half, and then 35 up is half. Men and women are pretty on. We have like people who are young who just want to hear the crazy shit, and then we have like moms who want to live vicariously through us. One of the moms, she was like, she did a voicemail and called in and was like,
Well, she
"Me
sent
and
a video of her, and she was like, I just cleaned chicken shit out of the barn for 6 hours. She's like, I just wanted to let you guys know how much me and my daughter love the podcast. And she's like, my daughter's 13. And we're like, should she be listening
She
right
should
now?
not be listening to this. We do not consent
But
to
you know what?
minors listening to this. And
We'll
if you are
take
a minor,
one more
go
download.
to school.
One more
What?
download from all the kids.
Yeah. I didn't know they had an internet in Appalachia or wherever this woman lives. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of random. Weed smokers.
Yeah.
People want to learn about sex. I also think we have a big audience because we talk a lot, and that's why we've been like grilling you about how your brain works for like mental health and working on yourself and stuff. So it's like we're gonna give you all that fun, wild shit. Wow.
Yeah.
While you are learning something.
Teaching a lesson. Let's teach lessons for the last
For the
half of this
remainder.
podcast. This is the second segment, right? Segment producer. Metaphysics, manifesting. Been doing it a ton. Really getting to the root of it. Man, that shit's been working.
So
Yeah.
what's your
Ladies.
routine?
Before I go to bed every night, and then when I wake up in the morning, and prayer, I've read, according to the metaphysics and the people that are talking about it, because they're fusing the best people to study on the subject of manifestation. Use the New Testament, the Bible, to extrapolate manifesting. So they say prayer is manifesting, because when you're thinking about, I want to live in a big house, I want to sell out a comedy theater, whatever I want to have a family, right? The things I manifest, you're really praying for it. You know what I mean?
You're
But you're
praying for it.
visualizing it. And what I read last night, Neville Goddard, he's a 20th century kind of the leading thought philosopher on this kind of study. He said that it shouldn't be difficult. It shouldn't be, we're taught from Catholicism or, however we grew up, that prayer is like a sacrifice and it should be difficult, but it should actually come with ease. The quote was, life is not about suffering, it's about surrendering. And what he means by that is you're surrendering to the feeling of having that which you want now. You have the feeling now, and then it creates in the physical form, the reality later.
Yeah, I think surrendering is huge. There's a book I read. It's called The Surrender Experiment. And I heard that like finds you when you need it. Like I literally found it. I've had it twice and I've lost it and left it somewhere. And somebody else was like, "Hey, you should read this book," and gave it to me.
Yeah.
And because I have, I think coming from like a traumatic background, and having to be very independent and masculine, need to control every outcome or know what the outcomes are. Is so strong in me. And sometimes when you try to control it, it's like holding a butterfly. Like it won't come back, and you're actually repelling it. And so I've had to learn how to like just be like, nah, this shit doesn't matter. I'm like putting it out in the wind. God's got me, and like fully surrendering. And that's when shit does happen. But sometimes I think with manifestation, when people think of just like prayer's like, I want this, it is the thing of you need to feel like you already have it now. You have to be operating on that frequency in which you want to be at already to get those things. And that just like comes from believing. And like I think the first part's visualization and then knowing what you want and talking about it,
and then working for it.
Yeah,
because you can't just
action.
Want it, visualize it, believe that you're going to get it. You also have to work for it. People are like, well, I prayed, well, I manifested, but the fuck are you doing about it?
Yeah, I'm like, you're a piece of shit in your daily life and you're not doing anything and you're not getting up to work. You want to be a singer, but what are you doing to achieve that? Like, you have to already kind of be in that pathway.
Fucking a producer. She's doing what she needs to do. You're paying Johnny Mitchell for room and board, and all I ask is that you fuck your significant other, and I'm going to be lovingly taking care of myself in the corner.
And we're back to hookers and prostitutes?
We just shoehorned it. We're back on the
try to rape
final
you in
segment.
prison?
No, this is a great question. And can we start the podcast now?
Yeah. I thought you were pounding it. Don't
Found it. No. I mean, I'm 6'6", so it's like, and I had a good crime. I had a high level drug crime, so I think that got me a little bit of respect. And I mean, I could have had my ass taken. There were a couple guys in there where I'm like, I bet you could bust my cheeks if you really. But it's kind of like the law of the jungle. You go after the injured. The injured little cheetah, not the one that'll make it difficult for you.
Running a job in the fucking prison.
Yeah, it's like if you take my ass, it's gonna be hard work. You won't even enjoy it by the end.
Yeah.
Or maybe you'll enjoy it a lot.
If it's hard work, then they enjoy it. They're like, I earned this shit.
He's raping like a weak person. I'm like, hey, nothing worth it ever comes easy.
He never does it again.
Were you ever in a gang in prison?
No.
Were you with the Nazis?
Yeah, I was just a Nazi, but I consider that more of a lifestyle.
Jesus Christ.
It's not a gang.
I was wondering too, because
my dad
was
fucking
white.
Race. I'm kidding.
And I was wondering, like, because are all the white people in prison typically, like,
depends where you are.
White
but
supremacists?
No.
Like, what are the other white gangs?
It depends where you are. I mean, I was in a very hard maximum security state prison, so there was a lot of that skinhead shit. They will never claim they're racist, though. And I kind of believe them for the most part. I'm sure a lot of people are racist. Black people are racist. The fucking Latin guys are racist. White people have truly adopted the swastika, and I'm gonna get you guys demonetized and kicked off YouTube for saying this, but
we bleep shit.
White people white guys in prison have really adopted that because there is no other identity.
That's what I was asking.
Like the fucking black guys can be Muslim, or they can be Bloods and Crips, or they can, black guys have all the swag and the culture. Obviously, the Hispanics, the Latinos, have a shitload of culture, right? I'm Paisa, you're a Soreño, or if you're in the feds, he's from Michoacan, or he's from Sinaloa. White guys don't really have that shit. So that's kind of where that prison gang shit, they just adopt that retarded fucking, racist memorabilia from the past.
So if you're white in prison, you're white, and you kind of have to stick with the whites.
Yeah, you're a Peckerwood, or everybody sticks to their own race in prison.
What's a Peckerwood?
A Peckerwood is...
There's never like an outlier?
It's
like a white guy in a black gang?
The only thing you'll see in like Cali prisons is if you're like a big white guy and you kind of have a tan, you can roll with the Hispanics.
I think that's what my dad did. Because he looks like tans very, very well and it gets dark.
Nice. Black Irish, they call it.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
Jewish. He's not Irish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jews, I don't know. Jews will have no...
But he's Ashkenazi, so it's super white.
Jews are very rare in prison. So, yeah, you could... I don't know. Usually you're going to be with the white people, but maybe he rolled with, like, the Puerto Ricans or some shit like that.
You said Jews are rare in prison?
Very rare. And that should be a compliment. Smart enough to stay out. But yeah, so everybody kind of sticks to their own race, but you know, they deal, everybody's selling drugs, and there's, you know, everybody's a mishmash when it comes to hustling in there.
How do you
eat with your own people, you fucking lift weights with your own people, you go to chow with your own people.
How do you only talk to just your people? Like,
you don't. You talk to everybody.
Okay.
But you when it comes to like being on the yard, on the weight pile, in the chow hall, in the rec area, you're going to a movie together.
What about the orgies?
It's called orgies. No, those are
mixed?
Yeah, you're just gonna have a all white orgy. You gotta get some black guys in there, dude.
The white supremacists are like, don't tell anyone about this. I swear I'm not gay. Damn.
Yeah.
That means we'd be stuck. If I went to prison, I'm not going to go to prison. I have no reason to. But then I'd have to be with Nazis. Then I'd be like, I'm a Jew.
They wouldn't like you.
Right? Because my dad's Jewish. So how do you go with somebody who's...
I guess you just wouldn't say you're Jewish.
They're probably just, yeah.
You can't tell.
I'm telling you, nobody will admit they're racist. Even white guys with swastikas on their neck in prison. This is how much, I guess, politically correct culture or whatever it is has permeated the society. Nobody will admit they're racist. The black guys might be like, look, old school black guys will be like, I just don't like white motherfuckers, but you cool, but I don't like white motherfuckers. But nobody will call themselves racist anymore. It's fascinating.
Who was your favorite prison mate?
This guy, Jimmy, who I talk about in an episode of The Connect. Got a couple million views if you want to check it out. It's no big deal. NBDL, I think, is what the kids are saying. Jimmy Desort. And I say his name now because I believe he's dead. He was on death row. I think he got his sentence commuted. But he was a Hell's Angel on the outside. He was a biker and, you know, big meth dealer and all that shit. But he ended up killing a motherfucker. And he was doing life, never getting out. I met him. I was cellmates with him because he like ran the white gang at the prison. And I'm the biggest square there. So they put him, because I was like, why are we cellmates? You know what I mean? He's like, it's because they know you're not active or doing shit. So they're selling us up to make sure we don't like stir the pot anymore. But he was a fascinating guy. Like, you talk to a guy who's never getting out of prison,
I can't imagine what that does to your mental.
They talk, it's like their life ended the day they got arrested. And so, you know, the first 30 years of his life on the street, he remembers every detail and the stories just up till like the sunrise, him just making love and him telling me stories of the past, the wild ass shit, dude. And it's like, if I had known I was going to be a podcaster, I would have written all this shit down. You know what I mean? But there were no podcasts back then. But yeah, he was fascinating. And he was a guy that helped me. He was like, because he saw that I was like writing screenplays and I was fucking going down and like doing comedy at like the talent show nights or whatever.
Is that how you started?
Yeah. And I didn't even know it was stand up though. It was just like me roasting people.
You were just talking on stage?
Wild shit. Wild.
I can imagine that's
racist. Oh my god.
Racist?
And of course, and if it wasn't brutal and racist, it would bomb. So that like
that,
they wanted
trained
me.
your brain as a comedian to be like fucked up.
They were like, they wanted me to go hard. I was like developing a reputation, and like the guys would come up to me like, hey yo, make fun of my cousin fucking Joker at the next talent show thing you do. And I'm like, okay, bet. And so it like trained me to like, I'm like, oh, this is what hilarious is.
Did you ever start trading like commissary for roasts?
No, I just did it for the clout. I loved it. But he could see that, and I was like, because I was like, Jimmy, I would like do favors for him. I would take drug balloons and, you know, I'd pass them to people and, you know, I hid weapons for him. But when he could see, I was like talking about it, I was like, I think I'm going to go to Hollywood and like try to like sell these like screenplay ideas. He was the only one I admitted that to. And he was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna like ask you to do anything anymore. We got to get you out. We got to get you to like a minimum. So he kind of like, in many ways, saved my life, or saved me from like maybe catching another charge, or you know what I mean? Like a lot of bad shit could have happened. So he kind of prevented me from doing that. Yeah. So I owe him my life, and I feel.
So you got out on good behavior.
Yeah, they sent me to transfer to a minimum. Yep. And then the craziest shit is that literally a week after I get shipped out to a minimum, he was on the yard, and a new guy had hit the yard, another lifer, and he had like an old score to settle with Jimmy, and he came at him with a shank, and Jimmy fucking hit him, whap, like, and then dropped him, and the guy fucking died. The guy got killed. So they sent Jimmy to death row, and he was on death row for a lot of years. When I was out in LA, they sent like a detective to interview me, and I just gave like a character reference for him. But I don't know. I think he beat the case because it was probably
self-defense.
It was, if they got it on camera, yeah. Like I think he would have beat it, but I think he just withered away. He was on death row fighting it for like 5 years, and that's like,
So
you're in
sad.
a box, you're in a solitary confinement.
Did he just
all day, every day? Think about I think it, turned him crazy.
Did you guys ever talk after? Like you got out?
No. It was one of those things where. No, I was just too like heartbreaking, but I maybe should have written him a letter. I don't know.
Did you ever visit anyone after?
No, but I have a good friend to this day who I met at the minimum, and he lives in San Diego now, and he was like, because he used to be a DJ in Hollywood. He was like, you got to go to fucking LA. You got to do this comedy shit. You got to do this movie shit. He was like a big inspiration. So he's still a close friend.
Oh shit.
That's so sweet. We gotta
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right.
But this was awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
How was that?
So much about each other.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah. Well, so where can everyone find you?
The Connect on YouTube, wherever you get podcasts. We interview fascinating characters, people with stories much deeper and crazier than mine. Ex-drug kingpins, mafia guys. Just had Sammy the Bull on. We have, a whole like host of people that have done time in like South American prisons, and so it's just kind of a crime drug show. You know what I mean?
How are you able to talk about all that stuff and not get in trouble?
Well, I think a lot of it's from the past. Most of these guys are out of the game. You know what I mean? If I can sense that somebody's still in it, I say let's not have you on. I don't want the headache.
Yeah.
Although we interviewed a guy from the Mexican mafia, and at the end, like on the Patreon, because we do a Patreon after the main episode, he admitted that like he was still in it. I was like, what the fuck? And he talked about a prison murder he was involved in.
Do you have to like call the cops at that point and be like, hey, I think snitches get stitches, but
no, I don't. It's not like a therapist. Like I'm not under like an obligation to like, if I hear somebody talking about.
You're not a mandated reporter.
Exactly.
I'm always like, what are the statute of limitations on everything?
Yeah, not on a body. There's none on a murder. So I just hope he was making that up, but I don't think he was.
Well,
but anywho,
oh boy,
so check that episode
Fred,
out.
our FBI
That episode's doing numbers.
We'll link that in one of the end cards. And
hey,
just go straight to
hey,
the episode.
FBI, for $4.99 a month, we take all Patreon members, so you can comb through the shit.
Are you an FBI agent?
No.
I don't fully trust you, but thank you for coming on the pod.
Of course, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
All right. Catch you guys next week. And if you want to leave a voicemail, 857-271-9663. Stories, questions, whatever. Keep it brief, though.
That's Jamie's.
Under 60 seconds.
Hold on. Let me give you
please.
Jamie's new personal number.
Make sure to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, 5-star written review everywhere. We love you.
And send your single dads to me.
Jamie's looking to get saved.
Someone save me, take me away from this.
That's so funny.